Hello, everybody, and welcome to AD 2022. This is our second episode of a live draw stream that David Williams, and possibly Kelsey Shannon on a regular basis will be doing once a week for the foreseeable future. We got stuff to draw, and you need to see it happen. So that's what this is all about. I may change the name of the show. If Kelsey becomes a regular, we'll find out, try and pin him down today. If Kelsey becomes a regular, I may have to change the name of the show. In fact, I still may change the name of the show for the new year and get a nice intro for the show so it's its own unique thing. But right now I'm just kind of using the Aaron Live stuff because, well, quite frankly, I'm too lazy to create new stuff. That's not true. I'm too busy. I haven't had a chance, with holiday season. Of course, those of you who watched my Sunday show know my daughter's home now. She co-hosted with me. Shelly will be returning this Sunday, and we're actually seriously thinking about doing a Christmas Day show. It'll be the evening of Christmas. So we shall see if that comes to fruition, but it very well might. So, if you're kind of all full of ham or whatever on Christmas Day and the evening rolls around, you got nothing going on, check to see, because we may be live doing a show. So in fact, I think that's a real strong possibility that may happen. So we have our other kids coming over on Christmas Eve, and then they'll be at the other in-laws Christmas Day. So it'd just be me, Shelly, and Samantha hanging out around the house. So heck, why not do a show? So, but we shall see. We shall see. I am effectively stalling because my two co-hosts have yet to show up. But I have stuff to talk about, so we'll deal with that, and then we'll get to the drawing. If you haven't noticed, I've got my Wraith of God beanie. We put in a whole new order, so I have a whole box of them sitting over there right now. So if you want a beanie, you don't have a beanie, and you're thinking, it's getting cold outside, I could really use a beanie. You can run. Don't walk, run to the Wraith of God Blood Hunters campaign, and you can order one of these right now, and it's going to ship right after Christmas. They are in stock. These and the shot glasses are going out right after Christmas. And also the baseball caps are on their way. The Empire Comics hats are on their way. I don't have them yet, but they will be here soon, probably, I assume at this point, right after Christmas. So those will get shipped out immediately as well. So those will be like those items, the shot glasses, the beanies, the baseball caps will all be available for immediate shipping if you want one. So you don't have to go to the campaign and order and go, I got to wait 6 months. I got to wait 8 months for the book to be done. No, they're going out immediately. So feel free to order those at any time. And I do have limited quantities of them because I placed a specific number order of the hats and the beanies. So if you're thinking about getting one, get one rather than waiting, and then potentially we might run out again. So the other thing I wanted to show was I just got these back from the printer. See these? These are the Merv limited edition Merv the Astro Chimp trading cards. These everybody gets that signed up early for the campaign. And if you back, you get one of these for free. If you didn't, that's okay. I'm going to be putting these up in January, right after the new year here, as a $5 add-on perk. So if you want one of these cards and you didn't get one for free because you didn't sign up early, you can still purchase one. So these will be much like the Wraith of God cards from the first campaign that were only available, at least for free, through the people that early ordered. And if you didn't early sign up, you will be able to purchase these and you can get one if you want to get your complete set of Empire Comics trading cards. So anyway, and look, there's writing on the back, all sorts of information about Merv the Astro Chimp. So there you have it. So those came in, and I've got those. I also picked this up, blackberry flavored water. It's better than regular water. It's kind of an acquired taste like coffee, It smells like blackberries. It sort of tastes like blackberries, but you know, it's not too heavy, so I kind of like it. It's nice. Let's see who's here as I continue to stall and wait for my co-host to show up. Let's see who's here. David G claims he was first in the house, and who am I to dispute that? You get absolutely nothing for that, but I do thank you for showing up and watching the show. Jimmy Owens is here. Hey, Jimmy, thanks for joining us. Jimmy, see, he's on top of it. He's letting David know he gets nothing for being here. Nintendo Ginger is here. Thank you for joining us. Marcus Killigrew, of course. We always get to see Marcus. Bill Maxwell is back. Haven't seen Bill in the chat for a while. Joseph Dredd is here. Let's see here. Kelsey is the origin of the Swamp Thing. Well, I think you're right about that. What was this? I sent you a tweet. Yes, you picked up a layout that I did for what's her face? Zatanna. I did a commission for somebody. I did the layout for it, and I probably sent that layout along with the guy, and he maybe put it up on eBay or whatever. And so you got the layout. So great. Thank you very much for that, supporting me in the secondary market. Mighty Joe is here. Look at that. Jimmy Owens, he's pushing the product. My beanie's keeping me warm because he's freezing there. I'll tell you what, I'm freezing here. We're supposed to get snow tonight. But the funny thing is, I'm like always freezing in the house. Even when the heat's on, I usually have like 3 layers on and a coat, you know. But as soon as you put one of these beanies on, you get warm really quick because you're not losing any steam out of the top of your head. So let's see. Oh, look at this. Mike McMahon sending you and Shelly's gift today. Wow, you don't have to do that. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir is here. Prater 7 is here. Timmy Mello is here. Paul Ogg. Bill wants to know, how does Merv drink beer with his helmet on? The problem with Merv is he doesn't think that far ahead. So he pops the space beer and then he's like, oh, wait a minute. So he could spend 20 minutes trying to figure out how he, would get it in there. So that's a typical Merv move. You'll find out more about Merv the Astro Chimp when you back Wraith of God Blood Hunters, and it comes out here and later next year. And because through a stretch goal, we have added 15 pages of Kit Carter. You can see her. She's right. You can see her. She's right behind me with Merv the Astro Chimp there. So we have 15 pages of Kit Carter added to the book, which makes it about a 100-page book. What a value for $25. Ebenezer Scrooge is here. Okay. So what am I going to do? My co-hosts, you contact these guys, you say, okay, we're going on at 1. Yeah, no problem. And then where are they? I don't know. Ooh, do you guys get winter storm warnings sent to you on your phones? I just got one. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information, but let's take a quick jaunt over to Instagram and see if there's any sort of response to my David is active now. Okay, I'll type in, where are you? Excuse me. Okay. Nope, still just me. I will just say this, Martin, that David and I have been friends for 25 years. So, the beam pad. Hail, Aaron. Hey. Marcus is telling me it's going to be super cold in Charlotte, North Carolina, or as it's known, Andyland. Is it known as Andyland now? I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm going to draw. I don't know what these other 2 clowns are going to draw when they get here, but let me share a little something here, if I may be so bold as to share. I'm all about sharing, especially during the Christmas season. Now, if you guys did not watch my Sunday show where my daughter co-hosted with me, I drew this. Come on, focus, baby, focus. This is the my version of the Grinch punching a snowman. Maybe it's even Frosty. There we go. I was going to color it. I just did not get around to it. But that was sort of the that was the extra added attraction that I did on the Sunday show. So that's a little Grinch action there, beating up a snowman. He's angry, you know, trying to figure out a way to stop Christmas from coming. So he's taking that out on the snowman. So anyway, and those of you going, gee, Aaron, is that for sale? Of course it is. I'm probably going to color it here. It's smallish. It's on a 8x10, so it's not real big. So today I had Angela Curry, who's a regular in the chat. I don't see her in here yet. Martin Ink Art says, I've known you for at least 25 years, but you still don't know who this is. Oh. Oh, yeah, it is. Gary Martin, of course. There he is. Hey, Gary, I may have to bring you in here to draw since no one else has shown up yet. Prater 7 is our low tonight here in southwestern Indiana is supposed to be -4. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? I remember one time in Oregon, we had like 0 degree, and it was snow on the ground, but it was like so cold and so dry because of the temperature and the wind was blowing. It was blowing around like sand in this 0 degree temperature. It was the weirdest thing. All right. So Angela Curry, as I was saying, has been bugging me for several live streams to draw Krampus. And so I was kind of torn between doing like Heat Miser, Cold Miser, or Krampus. And I think I'm going to go with Krampus because and it's the perfect time to do it because Angela's not in the chat. So then she can be really pissed that I drew it when she wasn't here. Oh my gosh. Jetto Jenga says, going to be 80 here on Christmas Day. Holy smokes. -12 in Sioux Falls, which that doesn't surprise me, but man, that's cold. Upstate New York, only 59 and rain tomorrow. That I would consider that a win if I was in upstate New York. Rodney Ulibarri is here. Hey, Rodney, thanks for joining us. He says it's 56 degrees in Albuquerque. I think Jimmy's in Washington State. 6 degrees there. Oh my goodness. I'm going to quit complaining. Okay. Should I call David and ask him what the heck he's doing? I'm going to. We'll put him on here live. And then I'm going to start drawing because the show must go on. And I'm always prepared. I'm like a Boy Scout, even though I never was a Boy Scout. All right, let's see what David's up to.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 5058.
So I almost doxed his phone number. So anyway, that means David is probably struggling with his internet right now. So we shall wait. And hopefully he will struggle. And I know Kelsey, of course, right before the show started, texted me and said, oh, I'm going to be a little bit late. I had to run to the store. And I'm just like, you guys are killing me. You're killing me, man. Okay, let's move right along because you'll just get a bigger picture of me drawing until these guys show up and then can add to the... Okay. I'm going to go Krampus. Now, I've seen the movie, and I didn't really like the design, but I've seen multiple sort of takes on Krampus. So I don't know if there actually is a... Why can't I get this thing? There we go. So I don't know if there's actually an official like sort of way to draw the Krampus, but so I'm just going to do what I want to do because I don't know that there actually is sort of any sort of like, shall we say, canon of for the Krampus. So since I'm going to assume it's up to interpretation, I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. And if Angela Curry sees it and she doesn't like it, well, the heck with that. All right, I have to say I watched on Netflix last night a movie called Troll. Okay. And wow, what a piece of crap. Now, I will say this. The troll effects were good. And but the story, holy crap. Okay, it was I believe it's a Norwegian film. So it was they didn't do it in Norwegian. They dubbed it in English, and the acting in the dubbing was not great, and the story was not great, and the characterization was not great. There was very little that was any good at all in this, other than the fact that there was a giant troll smashing around. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is I'm glad that it was on my already paid service of Netflix, because it stunk and I would not want to spend any money at a theater watching that movie. It was like watching like one of the bad Jurassic Park films, but you watch it because the dinosaur effects are cool. But yeah, it was. Boy. Anyway, so there's my. Hey, there's Shelly. Shelly's waiting to pick up Sammy at the hair salon. Also, I can do this stream with David and Kelsey, who haven't shown up. There she is. Hey, Shelly. We're just talking about doing maybe a Sunday show. There she is again. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Thank you. Anybody know what the blue pencil that Ethan uses before ink is? I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm using. Some people will use a non-photo blue. I do not use a non-photo blue because it's too waxy and it's too light and you have to press too hard and then you're screwed. This is a light blue. Okay. I don't know if you can read that. It's a coal erase light blue. And the reason I get the coal erase is because they come with an eraser on them. And guess what? This actually erases as long as you don't press too hard. So I want to, maybe I'm going to widen out his gate a little bit here. So anyway, I don't know what Ethan uses, but my guess is it's either a coal erase or it's a non-photo blue. So I guess Krampus has like a sack, doesn't he? Probably not of fun things, like of coal or something, maybe. I don't know. Since it's near Festivus, I think that David and Kelsey should perform feats of strength when they come on. Yeah, if they come on. I'm going to fire both of them, is what I'm going to do. There you go. The non-photo blue. I don't like the non-photo blues. All right. I'm not really sure. Okay. We're going to now flip this. Now that I've kind of figured out my layout and actually do it right this time, I want to get... I always draw too big, and then I end up getting off the page. So I'm going to do basically the same thing here, but I know what I'll do. I'll use this hand to do the cane, and I'll have him with the bag over his shoulder. And I don't know why I'm thinking that Krampus has a cane. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can have whatever I want him to have, right? Okay. You know, the funny thing is, I'd never even heard of this, Krampus mythology or whatever you want to call it until that movie came out a couple of years ago. I didn't even know it was a thing. But I guess it is. At least that's what they say. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if Mignola wrote it. He must have, because I think it was a Krampus Hellboy story in like Dark Horse Comics that Adam Hughes illustrated a couple of years ago. Again, right after that movie. Holy smokes, that was good. I mean, it's funny, stuff like that. The story is secondary to me when Adam is drawing. It's like, okay, I'm there. All right. So I don't really know what I want to do with his face. That's the thing. It's like, is he like this grumpy old Santa Claus? Is he actually a demon? I mean, what are we doing here? I guess I can do whatever I want. Get some wispy hair going in here. He's got to have like some kind of a beard, doesn't he? I mean, is he like the anti-Claus? Is that kind of what he is? Or is he just I don't know. Okay, I think we're on to something here now. Kind of looks like a hunchback Grinch at this point, but Nordman, I have no idea where they're at, to be honest with you. I can only assume that David is having internet problems, which should not be a shock to anybody. And Kelsey had to run to the store, said he'd be a little bit late. We're now, almost 30 minutes late. So they're absolutely blowing up my show right now, but that's okay. I am prepared to carry on my own if I have to. And if I have to draw 2 drawings, I will. We have a 2-hour time slot. on network television right now, and I'm going to fill that. I need somebody like Perry Como maybe to come in, sing a little bit while I'm working on this. And so normally in my blue lines, unless I allow myself to really get carried away, I just kind of rough it out and then kind of work out the details with the pencil. What I'm doing with Wraith of God, of course, is I'm doing a lot more work in the inking stage to capture a look. Although I will say that I've been a little bit tighter on this issue that I'm working on right now, Blood Hunters, than I was in the first one, with the pencils, I mean. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get through the pages than I did on the first campaign. But I do think I'm really happy with how it looks. So, I mean, I guess that's something, right? You don't want to be spending extra time on something and then go, yeah, it sucks. Should I give him like little Santa glasses, maybe? I wonder. Look at that. Kelsey has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the Cajun man himself, Kelsey Shannon. There he is.
Hello?
David is missing in action. I have no freaking idea where he's at. I just talked to him, and he must be having internet problems. That's the only thing I can assume at this point.
David?
Yes.
I am having the worst time, man. I don't know if you've ever had one of those days where you go, it's like, I just want to do some drawing. I'm going to come. I got to run and get ice real quick. I got to find change. Can't find no change. You get there and the thing don't work. Come back. I'm struggling everywhere. So I get online. My camera's not working. I'm like, why is my camera not working? I do a restart. The things are flying everywhere. Wires are all everywhere, coming out of everything. And finally, I'm like, I realize it's not even plugged in. I'm like, I'm having one of those days, man.
Oh, well, it's time to release that anxiety on the drawing board. Now, keeping in the Christmas spirit, I am drawing Krampus. Now, you can do whatever you want.
Oh.
I'm not going to push you in any direction.
Well, I'd never drawn a Krampus. That sounds like fun.
I haven't either.
Should we do things different or have like a theme, like Christmas monsters, maybe, or like?
Well, hey, you keep it Christmas themed. I think we should, but you can go any direction you want. Now, did you see this by any chance? My
nice,
my Grinch I did beating up the snowman.
That's great.
I did that on the Sunday stream, my show on Sunday, and I was going to color it, just haven't got around to it yet. But
no white on that, right? How are you?
No.
Well, so I mean, that's my one, wall that I hit when I want to paint something. I'm like, I'll throw some color on this. And I'm like, no, I put a bunch of white out on it. That's not going to work. Got to make a copy of it or something, but then it's not as fun.
Dude, you got to put your white out on last, not first.
But how do you, like, if it's over a colored part, do you have to like mix up some paint, some opaque paint to use to cover up your mess? That seems hard to match the paint color. So like, I just thought I'll just do it on copy, but I want the original.
I know. Well, that's what I said. So don't use white out. Use white out the last. Don't use it first.
Yeah. We'll have to do that.
If you're going to like do a John Malin splatter effect or something, is okay, hold off. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I color it, and then I'm going to splatter it, or put some texture in or whatever. So
I'm making it up as I go. I don't know what I'm doing. So.
No, I know. I do the same thing. You're like, you wonder if someone like Alex Ross, he has such a formula. He must,
Yeah.
And so does he ever screw up? And I'm just like, if I would plan stuff out, I could probably, be a lot more efficient and successful, but I just don't really ever do that.
Yeah, you got to wonder, like, I want to see the junk drawer at Alex's house. Like, I want to see all the things where he started painting a face and it just came out horrible. Does he like rip that up and throw it away? Or does it even ever happen? You know it happens.
Right. You would think it would have to, wouldn't it?
Right. And does he keep it or does he trash it? Because this is never will come out this way.
Well, that's true. I guess if you have a certain reputation to uphold, you don't want some of the crappy stuff getting out there.
I'm gonna turn off my camera real quick and set it up for some drawing. I'm coming at this late. I gotta hustle. That's
right. Well, we got a 2-hour time limit, man. That's all the network allows us is 2 hours, and then it's the Charlie Brown Christmas special is going to be on or something. So we have
Oh well, all I needed was like 10 minutes or so. We're good. We're good.
We're speed artists. Hey, now I was going to put a link to Nora's saga in the description of this.
I think it's done.
It's okay. So I just put one to Allegiance. So I figured they could find the book there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get copies of it now. I think it might be closed. Or they might have extra copies you can hit them up for. I know David's book is in funding right now. So
right, well, I've got that in the chat. If you'll actually join us, that would be awesome.
Yeah, man, he needs that internet of his with the delays and stuff. I gotta get that fixed up. I don't know if that's Albuquerque. Did I just dox him? Everybody knows where he's at, right?
Well, I just called him and it went to a message and said, "You have reached the phone number of 505."
Oh, God.
You know what? I ended it after like the first 3 digits. I was like, "Geez, I almost doxed this phone number." Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
I'm terrible at that, man. I did that before. He sent me some artwork, and I go, "Look, David sent me some artwork," and then it's like both of our addresses on it, and I'm like, "What a freaking idiot I am."
You're just excited. You're excited.
Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody cares enough to come after any of us really.
Somebody would.
Yeah, well, leave it to somebody.
Yeah. Right? All right, I think I got it. Changed lenses here, so I don't know. I'll have to test this out.
Did you catch that? I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Did you catch that that Krampus story that Adam Hughes and Mignola did for Dark Horse?
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
I mean, it's really, so well done. Adam's amazing. Yep. But I'm real picky about my Hellboy. And I don't see many doing it right. I'm not sure I like his Hellboy, but that's nothing to say about the craft and the skill level and the storytelling and everything he's doing is amazing. And his Hellboy is amazing. I'm just picky about my Hellboy.
Well, I just, if it's Adam Hughes, I'll pick it up. But
I liked his Archie thing and that Ozymandias thing that he did, and no, it was not Ozymandias. Who was it? Dr. Manhattan. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was. The reason I brought it up was because he had a pretty interesting take on Krampus. It was more kind of like this demon-looking thing, where I'm kind of going more ugly Santa Claus version here. So.
Did you see the movie Krampus?
Yeah, I did. I didn't like the design. I wanted it to be scarier.
That's the thing that had the goat legs and it had the little face or something.
Yeah, but he had a pointy nose and he just kind of looked like an angry man. It's kind of make him a little more scarier than that.
Oh, see, I don't even remember what he looked like, honestly. So I might need to see it again. I always just remember it being like a presence. Maybe it was too dark on the TV I was watching. I don't think I actually saw his face.
Well, when he confronted the kids there at the end in the snow, and we did see his face.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't.
I'll have to scope it out again. I saw one of my favorite ones was one from another country, and it had multiple stories in it, and it was Santa Claus versus Krampus. and like Krampus was like a muscle, he was all like pale white, and it was huge muscles. I don't remember what it was, but I remember liking it.
So it's like Schwarzenegger or something as Krampus?
Kinda. He was buff, man. Let's see if I can find that.
Well, I wonder if I wonder what the relationship is supposed to be between Santa and Krampus, right? Because it's like, don't they sort of work in tandem in the sense that if you're naughty, you get Krampus. If you're nice, you get Santa. Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
I guess. I don't know. I get the feeling like Krampus might actually be older than Saint Nicholas, or Santa Claus, rather. I don't know about Saint Nicholas. Yeah, it's like a legend from Norway. I don't know. This is why I always lean on Chat. Chat knows everything. So
isn't it German?
What do you got, Chat? Yeah, definitely. Like, what did they call that back in the day? Long before Germany, it was
Deutschland.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like it was a kind of a different thing back then.
That's where the barbarians came from, right? Brand Mac Morn was a German, right?
Right. When Rome was fighting with them, they they were they were tough people, woodsmen.
Yes.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, I can make something up though.
Well, yeah. Well, there seems to be some confusion even in the chat.
There pork hunt. Krampus dates back to the 6th century.
Wow. Krampus steals the bad kids. Germanic. Is that what we're trying to say? Prussia, maybe, Jimmy Owens says.
Oh, Prussia. Interesting.
All this Kelsey is making me gain weight, says Postmaster Dan.
Well, Kelsey's in the room and I'm gaining weight. Keep him away from me.
David's a no-show. I don't know. He must be having internet
It doesn't
problems.
take much for me to gain weight. I look at food. Boom, 10 pounds.
I mean, I eat it. I go all the way.
I don't even have to eat it, my friend.
You look at it and eat it. It's not just looking. It's consumption.
My body goes 10 pounds.
What's going on with my camera here? All right,
big butt.
I'm having.
Hi, Jimmy. Oh, my Jimmy. My Jimmy's in the house.
Try and call David one more time here.
Oh, the show is saved. Aw, you guys are so sweet.
There we go.
I missed you guys on my trip. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I'm telling you, San Antonio.
Where'd you go?
I went to Phoenix for one weekend to see my daughter, and then I went to San Antonio to see my brother and sister-in-law, and then, oh my gosh, back to Phoenix on Friday to then fly home with Sammy on her 21st birthday on Saturday. But San Antonio, I could live there in a heartbeat.
Really? I have lived there.
21 degrees right now. Well, my brother lives just on the outskirts of downtown.
He's in the chat right now.
Who
Brian is?
Brian! Oh, Jimmy. Look at that. I love Jimmy so much.
You are.
I do.
Look at that. It's a nice Christmas present to hear you back, Shelley, isn't that?
Oh, you guys.
Oh, come on. You got to put a little more effort than that into it. Come on now.
Love. My brother's in the chat. Okay, I got to tell you, it was a great trip. My brother had all these activities planned. We had bunk beds, so there was more room. No.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Kelsey, this is a show about speed and quality. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Not just speed.
I need a little bit more than that.
Not just speed.
I just tried to call David again, and it went right to voicemail. So he must be struggling with his internet. That's all I can say. Right?
Yeah.
I was hassling him a bit in the back room, because he's like, look at these colors. I'm like, look at these colors.
Look at these colors.
No.
But no, I went to infamous San Antonio places like Luckenbach. I went to Luckenbach, Texas.
Infamous.
Population 3.
Legendary.
They had more cats than people. But they had live music. And then I went to Green Hall where George Strait played before he was famous. My brother was like amazing. But yeah, it was so much fun. And then by the time I got back to Phoenix and back to Portland, I was a mess.
What's
My
it
knees
called?
were killing.
Lucan Hassenpfeffer? What was it called?
Mhm.
Well, the
Lukenbach.
Lukenbach.
Lukenbach, Texas. Willie and the boys sang a song about it.
What a name.
It was awesome.
Population.
They had
3.
like a post office, a dance hall, like 3 stages, a bar, a really overpriced
It's a
clothing
good
place.
town. They had a bar.
Yeah,
It's a
that well,
town that makes it officially makes it a town.
that's
right?
all that mattered. But it was really nice and blue sky. And then I went back to Phoenix where it was freezing, which was weird.
Yeah, what's the tip where you guys are? Is it getting nasty?
It's 22 degrees right now.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's supposed to
only
get
like
snow.
we had like a weather advisory warning,
Yeah.
and then it's supposed to start snowing tonight. But it's even cold. Like it was in the 30s and 40s in Phoenix in the night when I was running to my daughter's apartment, which, oh man.
Told her, bring a coat.
I
It's gonna
know.
be cold, but no, I'll be
It's
fine.
kind of
No.
warm here, and it's making it foggy. So like I've never seen like bright daylight and fog, like thick fog. But we got it.
Yeah, I think it's cold everywhere right now. But yeah, Phoenix, I was surprised because I was in like capris and Birkenstocks, freezing. But that's okay.
Well,
But yeah, it was a great trip, but 10 days wore me out. Yep, same storm, Jimmy. It is coldy.
Okay, Kelsey, I see that you're still prepping. You're still
Just getting his supplies together.
Yeah, I've spent like 2 hours getting ready and like half an hour drawn.
Wow. Okay.
now. Have you ever had one of those days where you're almost at lunchtime, or maybe you're even past lunchtime, and you're like, "Did I brush my teeth today?"
Yeah, every day.
And then you're like, what the heck? I'll just have another
brushed
cigarette
my
and a cup
hair.
of coffee.
Well, I brushed my hair, so the
Well.
teeth is just a bonus.
If
Well,
you're in
you
your
can get
brush,
past that really easy. Just don't brush your teeth.
well, that's
No problem.
That's
Yeah.
that's how you do it out
Solution.
in the out
And
in
my
the wilderness,
car,
right?
my car barely started today.
Did it really? Well, you haven't driven it in so long. It's
I know. One more payment and that sucker's done. Okay, I'm gonna go to Carol's here.
all right.
All
Enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Shelley's up there, ladies and gentlemen.
Merry Christmas.
She's already gone, but I'll pass on the sentiments.
All right, I think I'm finally ready. Let's see what we got here.
And I'm done. Well, good night, everybody.
Hello, everybody. See you in the chat. Let's see. Should I draw Krampus? What's chat want me to do? It's got to be Christmas themed. I'll let you guys choose. How about that?
Well, how about, let me give you a couple ideas.
Okay.
I had it down to, it was either going to be Krampus, Heat Miser, or Snow Miser. And I went with Krampus. So,
What's a heat miser and a snow miser?
are you kidding me? Like
Is that like one of Superman's characters?
No, the Rank and Bass specials from the 60s, the Rudolph.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It was the year without a Santa Claus. They had Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Yeah, I remember Cold Miser, I think. Let me look him up real quick.
Big old
He's
long
like the guy, he's like an ice guy, right?
Right. He has a big old long pointy nose with icicles hanging off of it, and his hair is like ice, and he's got his little
Oh yeah, he was played by what's his face? He even looks like him.
Yes.
Who am I thinking of?
I know who you're thinking of, but I can't think who you're thinking
from
of.
Mary Poppins. Oh man.
Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, but it was a guy that was like a poor man's Dick Van Dyke. So, I mean, he's a guy you would know, but not that famous.
What's Wiki say? Dick Shawn in 1974.
There you go, Dick Shawn. That's who it was.
Let me look him up. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I could see him in the face now. he looks different than. Some reason, I used to always think that was Dick Van Dyke. Did he do a voice for one of those?
Yeah, Fred Astaire did. I don't think Dick Van Dyke did, man. I think you're on a Dick Van Dyke wagon here that just is going nowhere, because I don't think he actually ever did one of those.
JW is wanting to know if we guys knew each other before all this previously.
No, we met on this show right now. This is the first time.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Kelsey, you said your name is?
I certainly knew of Aaron, but I've never had the opportunity to hang with him. So this is a real treat.
Yeah, it's so funny because I was not, even when I was working mainstream, I never really paid attention to what was going on other than the book I was drawing.
Me neither.
And so there was a lot, like I never heard of Shane Davis until Comicsgate. And
so yeah, man, it's really fun getting it's shifting all my my points of reference over.
Yes.
Because like I had my little group and I kind of stuck in that group. I didn't really move out of it much. And then getting to see all these amazing artists come here and being able to hang with them. I mean, when I was coming into comics, you were doing Sludge, I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was way back in the old days.
Is that Malibu?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I was really into that stuff, so I love that stuff. So I was well aware of who you were for a long time. So
well, thank you. That was still working for Malibu, working for the Ultiverse was still probably the most fun I ever had in comics because.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, they brought me in, and I was just breaking in at Marvel, and I was getting. I want to say I was getting 80. Was I getting $85 a page or something like that? Was my starting rate, right? And this was like 89-ish, 90s, and
90s.
yeah, 1990-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was supposed to take over She-Hulk when John Byrne left. And John Romita Sr., who was the art director, came in and said, no, this guy's not ready to take over a book. And he was correct. But of course, I didn't want to accept that as reality. So I was pissed. And Malibu came along and said, hey, we'll pay you $135 a page. Right? So that was like $50 more a page than I was getting at Marvel. And I was like, guess what I'm doing? So I left Marvel and went over and they Dave Ulbrich, Chris Olm, all the guys, they just let me do whatever I wanted to do. They weren't like, there was no pressure. It was kind of like, yeah, man, just work in the style you want to work in and, do the storytelling the way you want to do your storytelling. And they just kind of left me alone to do my thing. And I really like all the pressure lifted, because you're working at Marvel, especially when you're just breaking in, it's like, oh, if I don't do this right, I'm going to get fired. You're always, trying to think about, overthink everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that pressure at Malibu. So it kind of allowed me to sort of find myself as an artist. And it was a lot of camaraderie and everybody got along really well in the office. And it was really a lot of fun. And then, of course, unfortunately, they went under. But I had a great, really fun experience working there. I'm still friends with the guys.
How many times have you gone to a company and actually worked in-house? It sounds like you were there for. Well,
no, I'd go and visit and stuff, the offices, but no, I worked at home. I actually, CrossGen was the only place where I
what
actually.
What were you doing at CrossGen?
A Mystic.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I tried to get a job I was sending stuff to Brandon Peterson when that started. I'm kind of glad he didn't bring me. But it would have been fun. I would have taken away, probably some great lessons. Everybody, all you guys leveled up, I thought. Some of the best work I've seen. Greg Land completely changed. And people can say what they want about his photo ref stuff. I think he's really good at it, Yeah,
you're right. He's really good at that. Yes.
Yeah. Who I discovered, Josh Middleton, who'd gone on to like
Oh yeah,
amazing
Josh.
things.
Yeah, he does some really. He's mostly in animation though now, I think. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
man, he does some nice work.
I was a huge Claudio Castellini fan, so even though
Yes,
it took forever to get something out of him, I waited.
he was
So
he was like John Buscema on like freaking steroids.
yeah, he was. Man, he did a with Ron Mars, he did a Silver Surfer
Yes,
story, and
yes.
it's so good, but the coloring, they were trying something new. I don't know what. I think it's Joe Rosas was doing it, and I don't know. It just didn't seem, something happened with the printing or something. But Ron said that there was a black and white version out there. In Europe, they put out a black and white version.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That I would like to see.
same. I know. So I have not been able to find it yet, but I'm sure it exists out there. Let's see who else. Oh man.
You talking about CrossGen guys?
Yeah, there was just a lot of cool stuff for
Well,
me.
Jimmy Chung was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was doing great. I'd never heard of him before, and I was so into what he was doing.
Yeah. He was like, it was funny because he had I guess there's different kinds of, I shouldn't say manga because I don't know if that's the right terminology.
But no, you're right. There is kind of an influence of some kind.
He was looking at a lot of, I believe it was Korean stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of like sort of adapting some of that into what he was doing. And yeah, he really found sort of like this cool style and approach to what he was doing.
Yeah.
And there was a lot. Laura Martin was there.
Yeah, right. Who's the other guy? He used to do like band posters and stuff. I'm forgetting his name, but such a great colorist. Nice guy too.
Frank, what's his face, was there, and I can't think of his last name. And the guy that worked with me on Mystic, oh my gosh, I just like forgot everybody's name. That is so horrible.
Yeah, me too.
I hope they're not watching right now.
Yeah, I know.
That's where I hooked up with Matt Ryan, who's just a tremendous inker, and I worked with him for years at Marvel and DC. He's still gainfully employed at DC. I think he's inking the Flash right now.
Does that mean he's making gains? When you say gainfully, he's actually doing well, making money?
Well, he's getting paid.
I never understood what gainfully means. That's why I was generally curious. Like,
well, but that's true. I mean, I just use that term, but it's like, what does that mean? I mean, if you're employed,
sounds
you're
like
not
you're making
employed
gains.
losing money. The idea is you work to make money. So you would think that just being employed would mean that you're gainfully employed, right?
Right.
So I don't know.
I love the etymology of things. I'm always trying to figure out, what does that mean? Where does it come from?
I do that a lot too. That's funny because it's kind of like, who came up with the word ketchup? What is that supposed to mean anyway?
I used to think that with chair. Like, what the hell does chair mean? What does it mean? To take rest or something?
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, if you look at the origins of some of these words, they probably go back to the Latin or something like that has some sort of meaning,
right,
associated with whatever the object is. So, but yeah, I used to do that a lot as a kid. Now, as a older man, I don't care enough too much. But I used to think about that stuff all the time.
So true. I still kind of do, because I'm. Sometimes I feel like I'll agree to something without fully understanding what it is. So now I'm like, and I irritate people. I'm like, what do you mean? What is that? What do you mean by that? And just trying to make sure I'm not going to get caught in a jackpot, as I've been there, where I just agree to something that I didn't fully understand. And then it turns out I'm committed to this whole thing, or whatever.
Well, I think a lot of times people use words and we kind of sort of we know sort of what they mean, and we figure, well, this word will fit here. And then you say, what do you mean by that? And then you're putting the person on the spot to give you a definition of some word they just used, and they're not even 100% sure, right? They're kind of like, all right, you made me look like an idiot. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't mean to do that. I'm like, I genuinely need to know. It's funny. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I swear. I'm just seriously. I'm dumb. I don't know.
Well, there was what was that? I think Ethan was in a debate with some guy, and some terminology that Ethan was using, and the guy says, "Well, you're using this as a pejorative," and Ethan kind of had this blank look on his face, and he goes, "Yeah." And he admitted later he had no idea what pejorative meant, but I didn't either until recently. I go, because I'll hear a word like that, and you're like, I've heard this forever, and I still don't know what it means. I better look it up so I'm not such an idiot.
Well, in a debate, you can't cede ground. You just be like, well, yeah, so, and just see where they go with it. Maybe you can pick up what the definition is. Oh, man.
Exactly. You should try to figure it out on the fly, right? Pejorative.
Hey, yeah. You got to go with it, You can't lose the debate.
Well, look at that. Angela Curry showed up. Now, she's the one that's been bugging me to draw Krampus forever. So there you are, Angela. I'm doing Krampus, at least my version of him. What are you doing exactly?
I'm doing a really creepy a snow miser. But
oh, that's right. Okay.
Snow miser has sad eyes, and like it's hard to make him look scary when he's got like upturned eyes. There is, at least according to some of the pictures I've seen, there are bits where he does look scary. Okay, they do change his brow a little bit. Those are new. I
actually have the action figures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made, well, they there was a period of time there where they made all the action figures for all the Hanna-Barbera, the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials. And so I have like all the Rudolph set, and then I've got Heat Miser and Snow Miser. I don't know if they ever did, what was it? Was Santa Claus is Coming to Town? I think that's the one that Fred Astaire narrated. And but I do think there's a Fred Astaire toy out there, but there was also like Winter Warlock was one of the characters, and he was kind of creepy looking, but then he was like all icy and frozen over, and then his heart, became big, and it melted away the icy cold, and so then he was like charming instead of frightening, and I was like, I don't like this guy anymore.
Do you still watch these for Christmas?
I do.
I watch Charlie Brown.
Oh my gosh, I love Charlie Brown Christmas.
I watch every holiday. I actually just watch every Charlie. I'm a huge sucker for Charlie Brown.
They were so poignant, for just like little short cartoons. They always had sort of a message you think about,
Yeah.
Point to them. And we haven't watched Charlie Brown Christmas yet because I keep saying to my daughter, we got to watch The Grinch. We got to watch Charlie Brown. We got to do that on like Christmas Eve. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I guess we're waiting Christmas Eve to watch all this stuff. I don't know. But
what's your favorite Santa Claus movie?
Movie or special? I mean, what are we talking about?
Either one. Just Santa Claus media, but like movie, TV show, a thing that you grew up on that you really just, it doesn't even have to be like good or major, just something that when you think back on it, you got great Christmas feeling.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Because we used to, those were, I was a little kid. I mean, I was born in the 60s, obviously, but I mean, I was a kid of some awareness in the 70s, right? So I was like first grade and that kind of thing. And so those movies were still getting played pretty regularly. And so those are the kind of things, that we would watch all the time. That was the one, I talk about a charming movie and a great performance by, was it Edmund Gwynn? Was it that played Santa Claus? I almost said played Frankenstein. I can tell where my mind's at.
I'm not sure. I always thought it was Richard Attenborough for some reason.
Well, that's the remake.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I'm.
So that's like the color remake '80s version.
I'm not sure I've seen the original. To be honest with you, now you think
dude.
now you mention that.
Yeah, Natalie Wood is the little girl. Maureen O'Hara is the mom, and can't think of the lead guy off the top of my head. See his face, but I can't think of his name. But yeah, it's those older films. They really have that sort of Americana, sort of rose-colored glasses view of Christmas and the holidays, and
Right.
And it just really made you feel, like Christmas spirit, whereas more contemporary stuff tends to be more cynical and
it's funny because that's what one of my favorite Christmas is kind of cynical in a way, but like I guess not. It just depends on the way you look at it because it's a very long movie. But real quick, I'm a Capraite. Like I love all of Capra's stuff. But
oh yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Meet John Doe is like one of my all-time favorite
movies.
Great movie. But I like Santa Claus the movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Who's in that? I mean, I know the movie, but I'm trying to think. Like, I can't remember if I've seen it or not.
Well, I know John Lithgow and what is his name? The little British guy. That's the part I don't like as much these days because it's funny. Let me see. Santa Claus.
Oh, you think about Dudley Moore?
Yeah, Dudley Moore is like an elf for Santa, and he has all these ideas about what to do, and they got things. They can't entertain him all the time. I'm trying to find out who played Santa. David Huddleston. You've seen him. You know him if you saw him.
Yeah. The name sounds familiar. I'm trying to place.
But what I love about it is like at that time, like I wasn't into comics. I wasn't into anything, but I loved like, far off outposts in the, or cool, giant wooden buildings. I don't know. They just seem to nail the Santa Claus part of it before he goes into the future, into where John Lithgow is like a businessman. Mm-hmm. It was like him and his wife, whoever, I forget, I don't know if he was Saint Nicholas, but it was he and his wife, and they would just make toys and deliver them to the kids in winter. And they got snowed in and basically died. Like it starts off with them freezing to death. But they do it well. You don't, it's not like horrifying, but it is kind of.
What a Christmas special.
Once I saw it as an adult, I was like, they died. They just died. I mean, oh my God. But then the light comes down, like the northern light like shines on them, and it's like heaven opens up, but it's the North Pole, and all these little elves come out, and like they're like, we've been waiting for you, and we've been waiting for you to die to come and be with us. And they go to the North Pole, and it's this incredibly designed massive wooden building, where they have, it's just ornately designed. It looks like old Russian architecture, like really heavy wood and stuff like that. And oh man, I just wanted to live there so bad. So I mean, I don't know if it's not the Christmas spirit. I guess it's just
yeah, what are you just trying to bring the whole show down, Kelsey?
The world that they lived in was really appealing to me. But I don't know, like Christmas, other than that, it's the Snoopy stuff, the what we're doing now, all the rake and bass stuff. That was always my favorite Christmas stuff.
Well, and the thing is, when we were kids, we had to you had to catch it when it came on because there wasn't any reruns of it. You know what I mean? It was like one time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you missed it, like if you missed the Grinch, you were screwed for another year,
right? Before
it would come back. Sorry, that's my dog.
Yeah, that's how it was back in the day. If you didn't catch it on TV, you might not never see it again. Or if it was on specials, you got to wait a year.
Right, exactly. Jimmy Owens, $2.50. Thank you so much for that. Not much. Been sending love to the Loprestis. I'm sure that was probably in regard to when Shelly was here. I haven't kind of been neglecting the chat here as I'm drawing. I apologize, you guys. Mighty Joe says Burl Ives, and I think that's all you need to say. Pork Hunt likes Jingle All the Way. Now,
he was Santa, I guess, in Miracle on, was it Burl Ives?
No, Burl Ives was the snowman in Rudolph.
Oh, okay.
But it was not in Miracle on 34th Street.
Right.
Oh, he says 43rd Street. Are you sure? Miracle on 40. No, it was Miracle on 34th Street.
104th Street.
100 Humphrey Bear. I'm going to disagree with you. You better look it up, man. I think you're wrong.
Across a Miracle on 3rd Street. Oh.
That's right. Don't forget about Fred from I Love Lucy. He was in that.
Oh,
he was the guy that he was the political advisor to the judge who had to hear the case against Santa Claus. And it was like really politically charged, it's like, you can't send Santa Claus to jail, and if you want to get elected again, let's see. David Huddleston. So we're getting stuff confirmed in here. I think Mrs. Claus was Judy Cornwall, Daisy from Keeping Up Appearances. Pork Hunt says, and I guess he's referring to Santa Claus the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Michael Deach is like me, that with them dying at the beginning, it sounds like a horror story.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that when I was a kid, but when you see it kind of like with fresh eyes, you're like, oh Lord, oh okay.
Check this out. David Brohawk Williams is in the chat. He says, "I'll be right there." Well, how long ago is that? Come on, David.
Is he drawing right now, and he's going to reveal his?
That would be just like him to come in with a finished piece.
Oh man, my snowflake is crap. See, I shouldn't do it with ink. This is what happens when I go straight.
Are you doing straight with ink?
Well, on these snowflakes, I thought I could pull it off, but now I'm like, I don't know,
dude. Well, that's a ballsy move. I mean, that's a ballsy move live on camera. So I give you credit, but
Can I just draw stars? Will that work?
You can, Kelsey. It's your drawing. You can draw whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, finally he is here. Just an hour late. David Williams. Thanks for joining us, David. Jeez. Were you having internet trouble?
Sorry. I was on
having internet?
No, I was on a business call.
Oh,
okay. All right. Now I get you. That's all right.
No,
now I want you to know I almost doxed your phone number because I called you and I had you on speakerphone and it went to voicemail and it said the caller at 50 what, and I went and so I think two numbers got out there. So I think
they're going to triangulate that. They're going to figure it out.
Right. And then figure it out.
I want to apologize to everybody, but it was a very, very important business call.
All right.
Business.
That's right.
Business is getting taken
business
care of.
is good.
I tried to call you and it kept going to voicemail. And I went, something's up. Something's not right. So thankfully, Kelsey only showed up a half hour late, so I was able to stall for a while. And I opened the show and said, "Hey, welcome to this. I got my co-hosts aren't here."
I was having some technical difficulties. Oh my god, just everything that could go wrong was.
But you know how to entertain a crowd, so it's all good.
That's right. Hey, but I felt bad because I got the head start on you guys.
What are we drawing here?
I'm drawing Krampus. Kelsey's drawing sort of a evil.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing Krampus. Kelsey's doing
evil cold miser.
Yeah, cold miser. So it's just something sort of Christmas themed. It can be anything. Just throw a little Christmas spirit in it.
I kind of latched onto the monster thing since he was doing Krampus. I'm like, what other Christmas monsters are there? And he said, well, there's kind of Cold Miser and Heat Miser. And I do remember Cold Miser. So what do you think? What's something you remember, David? Something Christmassy.
You could be the happy Christmas guy. We'll be the scary Christmas guys.
We were discussing some Christmas movies as well, like your favorite Santa movie. That might help you kind of dial it in.
Well, I always like the Rudolph stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could do Evil Rudolph.
Or you can do Burl. Hey, Burl Ives was in the chat. You know, you can.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Or,
got like,
wait a minute. What about the Humble Bumble or something like that? You know,
Yeah, dude. I used to love that guy.
the Abominable Snowman, Humble Bumble. There you go. Everybody's jumping on the Bumble in this chat, David. So
That's probably a pretty easy one. You know. Not that you couldn't pull off something more complicated, but you know, I'm worried about you.
yeah, you've eaten up half your time, so it's kind of like there's a Perry Como special coming on at
hey,
2
don't worry
o'clock.
about me. I meant you guys needed a head start anyway.
Oh, see, here it goes. Here it is. It's, yep. All right, that's how it's going to be. I got you.
Are we coloring these too?
Well, we're doing what we have time to do. So if you're like I'm going to start coloring mine because I'm almost done, right? So
Well, as a professional, I'm always trying to budget my time. So
yeah, I understand exactly. So I'm just like, we'd like you to complete at least a black and white. You know,
Oh, okay.
The people paid good money for this show, so you want to make sure they're getting something for the, you know.
Can do.
Hey, Aaron, show this off.
Oh, yeah. Let me full screen this. Oh, that's me. Sorry about that. Here we go. There it is. Okay, so the deal with this is David had this up for auction, and somebody crapped out and didn't pay. So that classic Iron Man is still available. It's 11 by 17. It's a killer piece. So if you guys looking for a Christmas present or something, well, it's going to be after Christmas present now, but
it killed a man in Reno.
What's that?
It killed a man in Reno. It's killer.
Oh, I got you.
Just to watch him die.
So you can. Are you have an asking price for this, or are you just going to? How do you want to do it, David?
They could shoot me a private message on Instagram or on Twitter, and
there you go.
They could bid just something over 300.
$1 million.
So 301 buys it. There you go. It's
Nice.
a great piece. I've got a bunch of David's superhero stuff in my portfolio that I picked up a couple months ago. And I don't know that there's a better, I said this to you, David, the other day on the phone, there's a better archetypal superhero artist working right now than you. Stuff is just, I just love it. So contact David if you're interested in that. Also, I have put in the chat, or pardon me, I put in the description of this video the links to the Wraith of God Blood Hunters campaign if you'd like to go over there and visit. David's Bass Reeves, and also Kelsey's Nora's Saga, which you'd have to go through, I think, Allegiance website to get now. But anyway, the link is in there if you want to check those out. There's some really, really nice artwork in all three of these projects. So you might want to check those out. The links, of course, are in the description. So
thank you.
I want to pin Kelsey down. Now, are you going to be a regular on the show?
I can be, yeah.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you if you want to be a regular on the show. Can I count on you to be 30 minutes late every time I do this?
Yeah. Or more, yeah.
Or more.
Maybe even weeks late sometimes. No, I like it. I to me, it's like, man, this is great exercise for me. Being able to come in, get a topic, having to draw a completed piece within 2 hours on camera. This is great exercise, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. So yeah, I'm definitely down.
Okay, so you're a regular. Then I'm going to change the name of the show. I got to come up with something. I was calling it AD, which was Aaron and David, and I was also thinking of DNA, which would be David and Aaron. But now we got to work Kelsey in there someplace. If somebody
Never
had
worked.
an I in their name, it could be IDK, which would be kind of funny, but that doesn't really work. So anyway, I'll try and get like an intro and everything done so that we actually have something for the new year.
Let's call ourselves the Draw Squad or something cool. Like, let's,
yeah, there you go. Let's take some. Hey, you know what? Let's ask the
Fire
chat.
yeah.
Chat, you guys are clever. Give us a name for this show.
Like the best. You know, let's make it simple. The best artists on earth. The best. Let's just go straight for, you know, a good
Yeah,
descriptor.
That's right. No hyperbole, just the best. Join us for another episode of The Best.
See, it's really easy to remember.
Yeah, I like it. I might just do that. Oh, Marcus, Kelsey, don't forget tonight is the Jack show.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I have to show up because they want me to do New Year's Eve, I guess. And tonight is Cecil, so I'll be on Cecil's channel. And if I miss tonight, I'll forfeit my hosting ability for the next one. So I had to show up for 3 in a row, and I have not been able to do that. So I'm doing it. This week has been good. So,
well, we like to offer here a sort of palate cleanser from like the Jack show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it gets a little salty over there. Come over here and breathe the fresh, clean air. And, give you a different outlook on life.
Well, I like it. If you've noticed, there's a lot of comic-centric, drawing-centric kind of shows. We got Patrick Thomas Parnell and myself and Matt, where we've been doing I Love Comics. You guys have been doing this drawing show or just started, but you guys, I thought, hey, nice. And then I do a show on Sunday with Richard Friend called Super Fun Sunday. And
Oh my God, look at you go.
Yeah, we dig into different kinds of comics and whatever the chat is interested in looking at. I think we're going to do Paul Pope. We don't have one this Sunday because of Christmas, obviously. It falls on Sunday. So we'll pick it up next week.
All right, look at all these names here. CAD drawing, too easy. Thanks, leg kick though. Drawing gray, that's kind of funny.
Like the Dank Bank. How's it go?
The Comic Misers, pencils down.
Ooh,
Best,
look at that.
The best damn drawing stream.
There you go.
The Tardy Crew, that would be.
Drawing from the hip.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, Aaron's going to be drawing from the broken hip, right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Hey, wow.
Man, that hurt me. I'm sorry.
Jeez, you know, I don't usually do this to people that I consider like guests or co-hosts, but you earned it, man. There you go. So, let's see. Old guys drawing, old guys that draw better than you.
Yeah. I'm okay with all of those.
Triple threat draw stream, the Graybeard art corner. How about that? That's funny. The
That's
Graybeard.
good. Graybeards.
Yeah.
Damn.
Graybeard's the artist, you know. Dr. Mess says, does Krampus look like Aaron? Are you insinuating something? How about drawing later than late than never? Better late than never, you know. The Dank Bank.
Got all our initials in there.
Yeah. The artists that make you want to quit drawing stream. That's right, because we're so good that let's see, best line draw occasions. Evil One's in the chat there. Thanks for joining us, Evil One. This is a Christmas surprise. It is. Graybeards again. So this Graybeard seems to be catching a little steam here. Drawing a blank. That's pretty funny. I like that.
That's good.
Back to the drawing board. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have asked. There's too many good ideas. The Arthritic Knuckles crew.
Might be a little sensitive about that one. Yeah.
Draw the Line. Luck of the Draw. Hairy and Humorous. Oh my gosh. Drawing Before Nap Time. The Artist Formerly Known as Mainstream. Oh my gosh.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Got a burn on us.
I like that.
Yeah.
Drawing
He's
retirement.
He's a Prince fan, so that's why he's going for that. What's wrong with this picture? Gary Martin says drawing flies.
Dang.
God dang.
Yeah.
Bald and bushy. Oh my gosh. Ollie's Draw Goodies. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go through this again. The senior discounts.
Yeah.
Well,
Senior discounts.
you guys are bringing it today. That's for sure. Wow.
Man, all of those are good. We're not going to use any of them.
That's right. Thank you so much for participating.
Oh, mercy.
All right. So I was talking about this before you guys came on. I don't know if you guys have taken the time to watch this or not, or even are aware of it.
Oh, hey, I'll be back. I'll watch it and I'll come back.
But there's a movie on Netflix called Troll. It's a Norwegian film.
Oh yeah, Troll. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
Oh, it is so bad.
Bad as in good or bad as in terrible?
Bad as in terrible. The special effects are good enough. The troll looks good, but the dialogue, the acting, the writing, what am I forgetting here? Are not good. I was just shaking my head going, oh. But the troll's cool. So if you want to see a cool rock troll, there you go. But other than that, don't expect much.
That must be what it's about, really. Just how, because it made a big hit. Everybody was talking about it for a minute. Just shows how easy it is to impress right now.
Well, that's true. But, you know, the first one, I don't know if it's by the same guys, but there was one called Troll Hunter a few years ago. And that's actually really good.
Oh, that might be one I'm thinking about. Okay.
That was kind of like one of those lost footage kind of things where the, you know, camera moving and stuff. But that was really good.
Okay.
This one is like a really bad remake of a Godzilla film, but just with a giant troll in it. And it's just, I was really disappointed. I don't know what I expected, but you know,
something good. I don't
know. Actually, that's what I was expecting. I didn't get it. So there's your warning.
You should know better these days, Aaron.
I know. But I don't. The thing is, I don't really take that much time to watch movies anymore because I'm always doing something, right? And you're thinking, I should be drawing or I should be whatever.
Right.
And so I took 2 hours of my evening last night to watch this, and I was just like, I'll never get those 2 hours back.
Oh, no. You got, like I do, if it doesn't start working within the first 15 minutes, I'm out.
Oh, really?
I do not waste my time because time is so precious to me these days. I don't have it.
Well,
so I ain't wasting it on some dumb movie.
My daughter was mad.
Did you watch Pinocchio?
Oh, no, I haven't watched it yet.
Is that on any streaming service right now, or is it just in theaters only?
Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. Well, I wasted my time on Troll when I should have been watching Pinocchio. But here's the thing. You know, it's like I see something like, okay, I want to see that. So it like goes on this list, and then I just sort of go down the list, right?
Yeah.
And so like Glass Onion is next on my list.
Oh, really? Did you like
I love
Knives Out? I think was the
first
first one.
like the first one?
No, I did like it. There's so many movies right now where I like them, but I'm left wanting somehow, like something. Mm-hmm. And you know, when you got a great mystery and there's like plot points about farting and things like that, you know, I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, it wasn't. Am I remembering that wrong, or is there like a big thing about farting or something, or burping or puking?
No, it was puking.
Yeah, it's it's I don't know, but it's good. I'm real, like I said, I'm picky about my Hellboy.
Well, no, that's fine because I loved it. My son and I went and saw it, and we both loved it, and because I thought it was really clever, and
it was indeed, yeah.
And so I told my wife, I told Shelly, I said, "Oh, you got to watch this. You're gonna love this." And she watched it, and she was like, "Yeah." I'm like, really? Because I really pumped it up, right? I was like, I was like, "You're gonna love this. This is so." And she was like, "Yeah." And so my son and I we were just almost incredulous because we thought it was so good, and we're like, "How can you just give it a meh? How can you do that?" But yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, man, it just goes to show you how subjective all this creativity is, right?
Sure.
Kind of like one guy's Academy Award-winning film is another guy's piece of crap. So,
did he win an Academy Award for that?
It got nominated. It didn't win Best Picture. I may have picked up something along the way that I can't remember. I don't really watch that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
Hollywood is dead to me.
Pretty much. There's a lot of movies, like some of my favorite movies of all time, and I can't watch them anymore for various reasons because I can't. They used to think, can't you separate the art from the artist? And I used to think so.
Yep.
But
that was before they all opened their mouths, right?
Yeah.
You could hear stories about them, but you didn't really know. But now they open their mouths, and there's no doubt.
Or the court proceedings, opened
exactly.
up. Either way, I mean, exactly. It's like, dang, man, can't I just enjoy things?
Yeah, why do you ruin everything? Can't you keep your mouth shut and just be an actor? What is wrong with you?
No, but I like. Have you ever seen? Are you talking about, of course, one of the most hated filmmakers in Comicsgate or in Fandom Menace and everywhere else? Roundhead Ryan Johnson.
Yes, I get it. But
no, I was like, for me, like I was really looking forward to, and I probably put too much of the onus on it being better than, instead of just accepting it for what it was, because I was really a big fan. I liked the Brothers Bloom. I thought was fun. I thought the Looper was great. Yeah. I even liked Brick, which was like his first flick. So, I probably put more on it than it needed, but like certain things were like, Game of Thrones is big and they got a big knife throne, and there's just, I don't know, man, it's hit me like fanboyish or something. I don't know what it hit me with.
I am partial to mysteries like, Murder on the Orient Express. And of course the remake wasn't as good as the original, but
that's another one, man. I got to discuss that with you. You love that movie?
I like the first one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that filmmaker too that did that first one. But I mean, I had never seen it before. And I like Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, so do I. But he's hit and miss, though, he really is.
Well, no, yeah, he is. But I like his stuff. But it's the story that got me because, like, can we do spoilers? Has it been out long enough that I can spoil?
Well, okay, here's the thing, dude. This movie came out, the original came out in like 1974. And I was like, the whole point of that movie is the ending. Right. It's the whole movie. So it's like to remake that film when everybody knows what the ending is. It's like, what's the point of seeing it?
But see, I didn't know the ending. When I got to the ending, I thought it was a complete cop-out. I was like so upset because do we have spoilers? Can I say it?
You go ahead. Spoil it.
Because it wasn't one that we thought it was, and it wasn't something that we didn't think about that was always there, that, like, oh my God, it was them. I didn't know. No.
Right.
No, it was all of them.
Right.
And I was like, come on. I was kind of like, give me a break.
Dude, but that was, when that first one came out, that was a really sort of fresh idea.
That's true. Yeah.
And the first one was Albert Finney played Hercule Poirot in the first one. And there was a lot of I don't want to say it was supposed to be a comedy, but there was an element of humor through the entire thing. So you didn't take it 100% seriously. And I don't think, and again, it's hard to say this because when I saw the original, I didn't know how it ended.
Yeah, right.
When I saw the remake, I did. Right. And
yeah,
so
they were making it a lot more serious, right? Like in the remake.
Right. And so it was a little bit harder, I think, to swallow at the end because of the tone they had set. It seemed almost preposterous in the remake, whereas in the original, it was really took you by surprise, and you're like, really? Because I guess they tried to do this in the remake, where all the people that were suspects were all very likable. They really were in the first one too, and I don't know. I liked the first one. I thought the remake wasn't left some stuff to be desired. Let's put it.
Yeah, I need to see the original because I love that filmmaker. I love Albert Finney is like one of my faves. And even though I know the story, I bet it's handled with a different kind of way. It is
very different.
Yeah.
I mean, being the same, it's very different,
and also I reevaluate my stances on things a lot. So I may watch it again and be like, "Oh yeah,"
Well, no, I felt the same way in the remake. It didn't really hit home for me. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was, I don't know. But
all
again,
right, what other movies do you like? I can crap on, Aaron. What else?
No, I used to get real sensitive about that. Like I'd say, "Oh, I love this movie," and somebody go, "Oh, that's crap." But I've come to realize that obviously that, like I said earlier, that this stuff is so subjective, and there's any given number of reasons that someone likes or dislikes something that has very little to do with the quality of the film.
Oh, I'm a huge film nerd, so I love to debate the efficacies of various films and the quality of because I like stuff that straight up people regard as garbage. But
so do I if it has an entertainment value to it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I love Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah.
Most of them are terrible, but I love them because he doesn't.
That yesterday.
Look at there you go. Ought to be back only in reruns. Evil One says Aaron just needs to watch Troll 2. Yeah, well, I'm not talking about those low budget little troll films. Those are incredibly bad.
That's an epic bad film. Yeah, Troll 2. Considered one of the worst of all time, right? But I mean, that's again subjective, but it's a good label. It means you've accomplished something.
Exactly. Now, Pastmaster Dan puts in the chat, Hong Long was a porn star. I have no idea what that's in reference to, but it's funny.
Take it outside.
Yeah. Let's see. Early 90s. Oh, here. Let's see. Jetto Jaga says early 90s Hong Long crime dramas. He meant to say Hong Kong.
Oh.
From John Woo were great. A Better Tomorrow, Hard Boiled, etc.
Love all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, people dig John Woo's films. Unfortunately his Mission Impossible wasn't that great.
Yeah, it's hard to follow freaking what's the guy's name? Did the first one. He's epic, that guy. He did Carrie, first Carrie. Yep. What's his name?
And
De Palma.
Brian De Palma. Yep.
Hard to follow De Palma. I mean,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go. Pork Hunt saying Albert Finney and Ingrid Bergman. Correct. She was in the original.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Connery was in it.
Dang, man.
Oh, Christina Lynn dipped out. Bye, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you, Christina. I'm sure you probably already left, but thank you. Let's see. Nomadman says, I've seen the remake, remember nothing about it. So there you go. Yeah. So he's on board.
Look pretty.
Oh, wait a minute. Did Peter Ustinov do Murder on the Orient Express 2 as Perot? Is there like 3 versions of that movie?
Oh, probably. I would. There's probably more like TV versions, because it's perfect for, low budget.
Yeah, it's true.
It's all set in the train. You can really work around that. Man, talk about other endings that floored me. The same director did Hindenburg. Did you ever see that?
Yes, with that was had Michael York in it, didn't it?
No,
or was that George C. Scott? Who was in that?
C. Scott, yeah, it was George C. Scott. That was like, what's gonna happen. The Hindenburg's going down, but they make you think there's a possibility something could go wrong or something can work out.
Right.
Then they make you think, well, it's going down, but my guy is going to get out. George C. Scott's going to be that guy that fell out of the window and ran away or something.
Right. He's
going to defuse the bomb, but something else happens. So, no, he gets a face full of explosion. And it's like, wow! It was so shocking. I mean,
those were movies when I was a kid, whenever the hero died, I would just be pissed off. Like, you like Westworld? You've seen Westworld, right?
Oh, yeah.
So James Brolin's the cool guy, right?
Yeah.
And Richard Benjamin's the nerd. And James Brolin gets killed. And here I am, this 12-year-old kid watching this movie thinking, James Brolin, that's a cool dude. I want to be like him. And then he gets killed. And you're like, what? But as an adult, you look at it and see what genius that was. You want the wimpy guy to be the guy trying to survive.
Have you ever seen To Live and Die in L.A.?
Yes, they did the same thing in that.
Where,
right? It was William Peterson, right? That got killed.
Yeah. William Peterson, he's like cool guy cop. Been through it all. Jumps off bridges, for fun. He has like zip lines and stuff. And oh man, who was the guy the counterfeiter?
I can't remember who his third partner was. I can't remember.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, his partner that shows up is really young and doesn't know anything. His old partner dies,
right?
And so he's determined to take out the counterfeiter guy, who's played by the guy that played Green Goblin in Spider-Man.
William Dafoe.
Yeah,
Willem Dafoe, yeah, real young Willem Dafoe, creepy as hell. He freaked me out when I was a kid watching that movie. But 15 minutes before it's over, William Peterson gets a shotgun in the face. I mean, it's so shocking that
you're like,
where are you going to go now? I don't understand.
Exactly.
But just like the others, it's you find out it's not really about him, in a weird way. And the other guy kind of steps up, and it's like this transition of or like the propagation of not passion, but like not madness, but oh man, what do you call it? Obsessiveness,
Use
and
your words, Kelsey.
I'm so bad with words, man. I don't know anything. I can write all day long when I'm trying to speak them. They don't come out.
Talk all day long, but I'm not saying anything.
That's me. Yeah, another great movie I just spoiled. So go check it out.
Well, yeah. Well, the big thing with that when that came out, because William Friedkin directed that, right?
Yeah.
And he has that great sequence in The French Connection, and they were making a big deal out of the car chase scene in this. He says he wanted to top The French Connection, so they had, if I recall,
boy did he.
They had that car chase scene against the traffic.
Yes.
In a LA freeway.
It still holds up as one of the most insane car chases I've ever seen in movies. And the way they do the audio, because there's bits where the audio is just like a hum or something, and then it all dies away, and you could just hear the partner in the back seat freaking out, just you know, and you hear the engine like you know, and they play with the audio to make it even more intense, and just so well done.
Yeah, I think that came out about the same time as Commando did, and I was like, should I go see Commando or should I go see? And I went and saw Commando. So.
Yeah, good choice. A lot more fun,
dude. How many people does Arnold kill on that island?
Ugh.
No, I didn't go Commando to Commando. Can you imagine if I went Commando to Commando?
I don't want to imagine that, but yeah.
But no, I mean, Arnold kills like probably 1,000 guys by himself on that island. It's just incredible.
Is that the record for how many kills in a movie on screen?
I think it is. It was. Now, I don't know if you saw this interview. I had come across this actually pretty recently where Stallone and him were in a competition all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, who would have the bigger guns, who had more kills. And so they always had to one-up each other in their next movie, right? But they tell this story, and it's funny because you get it from – they're not sitting there together on The Tonight Show, but they're each being interviewed separately, telling the same story.
Yeah,
and Stallone about how he got tricked into doing stop and normal shoot because Schwarzenegger played him, I guess, and sent out this thing that that Schwarzenegger was going to do this film, and if Stallone went up him, he better grab this film right now because, and so he basically tricked Stallone into taking this crappy film that was, of course, a disaster. And it's funny to hear, Arnold laughing about it and Stallone sort of laughing about it, how he got duped into it.
Yeah, that was Arnold is a big trickster.
Yeah.
He loves playing gags, but I mean, that was Stallone's own ego that bought into that one. He played him well.
Yeah. Well, if you're,
he's like, check out this trick I'm going to do. I'm going to get my Mexican helper pregnant.
Oh, that was his last trick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that one didn't turn out too well. Oh,
and for my
wasn't that
trick,
funny, Maria?
Joke is on you.
You think my body count in the movies is big?
Oh, I've done Krampus here, and I'm not sure I made him scary enough. I'm kind of, I'm not sure I did.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick look at this. Let's take a look at this.
Not too thrilled with what I got going on here, but it'll work. I'm gonna throw some paint on it and see what happens.
Yeah, well, I've got a good, healthy head start on you.
That looks great. Oh my gosh, Eric.
He's a little. He looks like Creepy Claus. I don't know if he's scary enough to be Krampus, but it was my first go at it. So, and I tend to. People always tell me that when I draw horror stuff, I sort of like Disneyize it so that it's scary, but it's not like horrifying. It's kind of accessible horror.
Yeah.
And as I joked when Dale did that werewolf cover for me, I said Dale does werewolves that look like they should be on the cover of a heavy metal album. My werewolf looks like they should be on the cover of a Journey album. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Pork Hunt. Now, wait a minute. Does he have antlers? Why are you telling me that now, Pork Hunt? You should have told me like an hour ago.
He does have antlers. Now that I think about it. They make
them
skinny
pop
and they come out forward.
You could white it out and make them pop out of the hat.
Oh, see, now I'm going down the Kelsey road of whiteout, and we all know what happens when you do that.
You got to color it first, Aaron.
You got to color it first and put the on it. All right. Well, I'll put one antler in because I can put one out, and then I'll save the other one. Thanks a lot, Pork Hunt. He's like, I'll wait till he's done inking it, and then I'll tell him. Yeah, look at everybody's jumping in now. Sketch 51. Krampus has horns.
Yeah.
Where have you guys been for the last hour? Evil One. Krampus has horns.
They've been trying to tell you, but I'm also trying to win this competition, so I didn't want to say anything.
Oh, okay.
No, I was kidding.
Is that it?
Thanks,
For
chat.
Peasy, Rip Aaron's head start. Yeah, well, there it was, and I've blown my lead.
Oh,
Oh,
got here.
no, I'm gonna do the horns. I'm doing it legit, man.
Come on. Choose your weapon.
Now,
You guys use any brush pins?
I'm not a brush pin guy, but I'm not against them. I just have never.
I have yet to find one that I like. So
Now, are these antler type horns or like devil horns? What kind of horns are we talking about here? They're gonna wait till I'm done, and then they're gonna tell me.
I think they're just curved like a satyr or something, or I don't know what I'm saying. What's a satyr? What was that pin?
I know.
I'm sorry.
No, I know what you mean. Those big, long, kind of curled out horns, right?
Yeah.
Poor consent. Aaron's Krampus needs Viagra. What the heck is going on? See, no one's commenting on the horns, so they're going to wait till I draw them wrong. No, I said they're like an elk's horns. All right. Well, okay. You know what? I can do any horns I want. Okay. So I'm going to kind of do a combo, I guess, maybe here. I'm pissed. Somebody should have said something earlier. Kelsey, I blame you. I'm not sure why, but I do.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
Somehow this is your fault.
I'm throwing you off. It's all part of my plan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. I'm not even sure that it looks better with horns, but I'm doing it because people demand it.
Now they're saying it doesn't have horns. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
What? Shut up.
Now they're saying it has wings.
Geek Avengers says maybe you should draw a female Krampus with big horns, if you know what I'm saying. Late for that now, too, Geek. Thank you. Everybody's got late suggestions. Ram horns. No, I'm not giving him ram horns. Should I give him ram horns? No.
Now you're thinking, well, maybe.
Wait a minute. These look like tree branches coming out of his head. I don't know if that's the right look I want here. Gosh darn it.
You threw him off.
Yeah.
Success. Thanks, chat.
That's right. You're going to pass me now as I'm struggling with these horns. Oh, my gosh.
It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the show.
Well, see, that's the thing. I can't win now no matter what I do, right? Because the horns will suck. Because they weren't intended to be there. And
of course, we have no idea what David's doing. That's the trump card.
Well, but see, that's how he plays it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he plays it.
You guys were talking.
He doesn't show anything. He shows up late. He probably, for all we know, he has like a finished drawing he just pulled out, and he's like acting like he's doing a little stuff over the top, and then he's going to go, "Look what I did in 30 minutes." You guys.
Yeah. I think I got this.
See,
I got it in the bag.
My confidence has gone out the window now that I'm dealing with these horns. I was feeling pretty good about myself.
And that's making my confidence grow.
All right. All right. Well, there's kind of a hybrid horn here. That's what I'm doing. And if you guys don't like it, well, that's just too freaking bad. Can't come in this late. Do you guys ever, when you work in like mainstream and you were working on a like a script, did you read through the entire script before you started drawing, or did you just start drawing and read it as you went?
Sometimes both. I'll let David talk.
No, I had to read the script because I got to feel it.
Feel it. Nah, I never did.
Really?
Yeah, because I always felt like I have this really kind of bizarre work mentality. And I always feel like it's like watching a movie, right? It's like I should be drawing. It's like if I have to sit down and read this script, I'm wasting time. So I would just read the first page, lay it out, read the second. And I can't tell you how many times it's like you get to page 15 and the guy reaches into his backpack and you're like, backpack?
Yep.
He was supposed to have a backpack on?
Yep.
And you're like,
I've been there.
then you go back in and have to redraw the backpack and all the pages. Yeah.
Well, it's worse when they didn't write he had a backpack and
Yeah,
he still
that's
pulls
happened
out
too.
a backpack. That happens a lot. Thank you, writers. No, I'll read it once and I'm like, oh, this is easy, man. I could do this in like 2 weeks. And then you start doing it and you realize, oh,
It's like,
you know, as you're reading it page by page at that point, you realize, oh no, okay, this is going to be harder than I thought.
Well, it always is, because when you're reading it, you're just reading it, right? When you start breaking it down and figuring out the storytelling, it's like, okay, this is way more complicated than it felt when I read it.
Yeah, I kind of pulled that on Ethan a little bit because I was coloring a thing and he was like, he's like, did you read it? I'm like, yeah, some of it. And then he was like, you mean you're coloring it and you didn't read it? And I'm like, well, I'm reading the part that I need to know for coloring. So I understand what you're talking about, Aaron. I kind of guilty of that myself, or at least, you know, I don't know if it's guilty or not. Just you get used to reading comics, you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you know, I've absorbed so much story. It's, you know, but it's the little details that always get me, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the stuff you don't notice even if you do a quick read through, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's when you're laying it out, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I had this, I finally quit doing this. I mean, I spent most of my career doing it this way. And Mike Martz, I was working, I can't remember what it was, but I was working on something and I made that kind of mistake where I had to go back in and fix something. He goes, are you one of those guys who doesn't read the script and just starts drawing? And I'm like,
busted.
Yeah. And so then after that, I was like, all right, I'll read it. And
who was that? Mike Martz?
Yeah, Mike Martz.
Yeah. That's funny.
Boy, he got an aftershock just in time, didn't he?
Yeah, man. Crazy. I liked Mike.
So do I. I've worked with him for years. Worked with him in Marvel. I worked with him at DC. I actually did some stuff at Aftershock when they still had money.
Yeah, same here. I did a little bit for them. I liked them a lot. I was going to do a lot more, but, you know, things just kind of work out the way they do.
Well, the reality is, and I know this because I've worked for so many startups, you know, from Malibu to CrossGen to Valiant to, you know, Dark Horse. Eventually, they're going to go out of business.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. And so you just got to make sure that you're, you know, when you're working for them, you're doing it at the right time.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is hard to know.
Right at the beginning when they're flush.
Right. When they got lots of cash and they're excited and we're launching this new universe. You're like, yeah, I'm in, man.
Yeah, it sucks because like I do have hope for all these companies like CrossGen. You know, I don't know. I like probably everybody had high hopes. You know, it's like, oh, it's a new way to do things, and then you start hearing about, you know, locking people in and things like that. Or I don't know what you guys went through. You just hear all these rumors. It's
well, basically what happened was they do the same. This is the thing that drives me nuts. Is these startup companies, they all make the same mistakes. It's like they do not learn from past other people that have screwed it up. And it's always due to trying to expand too fast to get a bigger share of the market. Instead of saying, okay, we're going to do 6 books. We're going to make these 6 books as successful as possible, or 5 or whatever it is, so that we can turn a profit on these books. And then when we turn a profit, we'll look at expansion. But it's always just more titles. And pretty soon the money's gone and you're not selling anything.
Right. Just do one good one.
Yeah.
Until that succeeds, then when you're flush with cash, do 2 new ones. Or keep up the old one and do a new one.
Right. Exactly. And but people get impatient because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of money in comics, and so no one wants to sit around for 5 years and not make very much money in their company, right? But
Well, they make these mistakes even when they got a lot of money. Like working at Wildstorm, I was doing Lynch. Like they were asking me, like, what character do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really a superhero guy. Maybe like if you do anything with Deathblow, and they were like, no, you can't do Deathblow. And I'm like, so I eventually settled on Lynch and started working on it. I was working on it with Ron Mars, and Stell Freeze actually helped plot it out and stuff. And then we were having a great time. And at the same time, Jason Pearson was doing Redbird, and Jason Pearson at the time was like still super hot.
Yeah.
Everybody was after his stuff. And then we found out that at the same time as we're doing these, Simon Beasley's doing like a Ripclaw thing. And so we had 3 killer, books like happening. And then they decide that they're going to put them all under the same banner, some new event book that'll change artists and themes as it goes. And I'm like, well, okay. Just wait for Jason. Start it with Jason because like it'll be a hit. Start off with a bang. And they're like, no, we're going to start with Beasley. And I'm like, no. Like I'm a huge Simon Beasley fan, but my business brain is telling me go with Jason first.
Right.
And definitely not me. I want to trail. Finish hard. I can see what they're doing and try to. Friendly competition, but.
Sure.
They just ignored us, ignored me. I think I was the only one saying that, when they put out Beasley's title, which I look at now and I'm like, he did great work on that, but it wasn't resonating with the audience, I guess, and it didn't do well. And then they canned the whole thing. So it's like, wait a minute, I was in a separate book. You put me in a main book with everybody else. It doesn't do well, and then you just cancel it all. So they just threw away thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, for us to be doing all these pages, and then they just can it. It's like,
right. You're just like, geez, really? No, that's true because Bisley is like coffee. He's like an acquired taste, and it's like
especially late era Beasley as well. Like because he wasn't doing the painting stuff. It was straight up comic work.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
Right. His stuff he did on Death Dealer, that first issue of Death Dealer was like freaking awesome. But it's also, but guys, if you're doing an image book, Beasley is that's not the style people are going to be looking for out of the gate.
Right. I was real excited to be in a series with Beasley, but just from a practical standpoint, it's like everybody loves Beasley,
right?
But Jason Pearson is a megastar,
right?
You got to start with him. Launch on a really good foot, but they got ants in their pants. They couldn't wait.
Yeah,
I can understand that they're pumping tons of money into this. They got to start seeing a return, but then they can it all. I'm like, well, you ultimately lost money just canceling it. So I don't know that a lot of those even the main companies are making these kinds of like weird rookie mistakes.
Well, I don't think
just startups.
People have stuff they like, for whatever reason, but they don't really, a lot of times don't really think about it, like you said, as a business venture. Okay, it's like, yeah, this guy's my favorite artist, but is he everybody else's favorite artist, or is he the right one to launch this thing, or is he the right one to draw this?
Well, it's like if you got Jim Lee doing a book and Ron Lim doing a book, and you launch with Ron Lim, it's like, I like Ron Lim, but you start with Jim.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And but it's kind of easy, isn't it, to be a armchair quarterback and look at all the dumb mistakes everybody makes. You're like, oh, I wouldn't have done that.
It's the only thing I do well. Armchair quarterback. I'm great at that. Yeah, and it's also like, hindsight too. You think about it, and you're like, well, I mean, thinking about I could have been wrong too. We could have launched with Jason, and people were just done with Wildstorm because it was towards the end of the Wildstorm heyday, and they were getting ready to sell. I think they'd already started the sale, and they just hadn't moved over completely to DC. So, things were different there already.
Right.
So it could have just been a climate where it's hard to launch any new book at that time.
Yeah, it's funny. Stuff changed super quick in the 90s. I mean, practically overnight, where you could put anything out and sell, 500,000 copies, excuse me. And then suddenly, you couldn't give comics away.
That, and they're just dumb. Like David and I were working on a Keith Giffen script, which I love. I love Keith Giffen, and it was for, what was it? Authority, yeah. So it had like an alternate version of every character, and it's really hard to mix up because they're, you got two versions of everybody, and they look pretty much the same, just a little different. And we get through, I think we were done. I think we were like done with the entire book. And the editor comes up and goes, "Oh, we got a problem. You drew the characters backwards. So the bad ones are the good ones and the good ones are the bad ones." And it's like, where were you? You're the editor. Why didn't you say something? It was freaking floored. Probably David as well. I mean, we were both like, "Are you kidding? No." And they're like, "No, you got to redo it." And David's like, "Nope." And I'm thinking, I was thinking, oh man, I'm always looking for that opportunity to like step up. Maybe I can get, something good out of it. And I'm like, okay, I could do it. And I redid everything, changed all of the characters back and forth. And then, because I wanted to draw the next one, I was like, I can get an authority under my belt, Right. So we do it. Everybody's kind of happy with it. It's not as good as what David did originally, but it'll work. And then I start drawing the next one, and I'm drawing digital at that point, which is still kind of new for them. And I'm turning things in, and the editor comes to me again. I'm like halfway done with the book at this point, and he's like, "Well, what size are these you're doing these at?" And I was like, "Well, same as I always do, comic book size, 300 DPI." And he was like, "Well, Jim needs these at like 1500 DPI or whatever." Like,
he's after you again once you're done.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I can't do this. And I that's when I left. I'm like, this guy, I hope you're manning a radar, dish in Antarctica right now, because like you do not belong in this business. Crazy. This is what editors are for, to keep us on track.
Well, that's what they're supposed to be there for.
Think about these kinds of things ahead of time. Yeah.
Hey, Malin's in the chat.
What up, Marilyn? #1 headband.
Geek Avenger says John Malin doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. There's another one. Malin's tears cure cancer. Problem is he never cries. Oh. Jeez.
We need a book of these. I want a book of like, what is it? The Malinisms.
Yeah. He says Faye likes to shovel. Oddly enough, she rarely does, but she likes to get out there. What a woman. Okay, so he's making his wife shovel the snow.
That's his story, and he's sticking to it. She loves it.
Yeah. The funny thing is, we were Shelley and I were visiting the late great Paul Ryan and Linda Ryan out in Boston area. And it snowed. We were stuck in there because we were supposed to go down to the New York show, and it was that one where the last Fred Greenberger show that got snowed out, and he lost all that money because they had to cancel the show. But Shelley went out there and shoveled the walk because she wanted to experience what it was like. So me and Paul are sitting in the kitchen looking out the window going, this works for me. She's out there, get a picture. We're like, oh yeah, I'm taking pictures.
Do you get snow, David? Or are you further
Yep.
south? I know Albuquerque gets. Oh, did I just dox you? Shit, man. I know wherever you are gets a lot of snow.
I know. I gave out his
Yes,
phone number earlier, so you might as well.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yes, I do. We do get snow once a year.
Man, did you get any this time, or like? Because everywhere is getting like snow.
A little bit.
There's like this major, like cold front, like going through the entire country, isn't it right now?
Yeah. Give me some candy. Yeah. It's making it real foggy here and rainy. Kelsey is frozen. Yeah. Oh no!
You literally are frozen, but
Oh,
we can still hear you though. There you go. Now you're back online.
I am?
Yep.
Okay.
We see
My
your
screensaver came up. That was what. Cecil sent me this giant bag of candy.
how kind.
So good. Yeah. He's such a good dude.
Sequential Treasure says global warming my ass. Remember, they changed it to climate change so that it can be anything now.
Oh yeah, true that. It can come from anywhere. The environment's gonna get you.
All right, guys, I'm giving you 15 more minutes to wrap this up.
Oh, I thought we had 2 hours. It looks like we only started 38 minutes ago.
Oh, you started 38 minutes ago. I started.
Well, that was the stream.
No.
Wait, I see your time up there.
We've been live 2 hours and 10 minutes, my brother.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I better get a move on.
Yeah.
Let me pull out my AI program. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah. David looks like he's got something going on there. So.
You gonna be able to do it, David?
Close. I think so.
I was like, it was quiet. I look up and you're looking at me like, what? Look who you're talking to, fool.
You're like freezing everybody out tonight, man, with your the Kelsey freeze.
Yeah. I don't know what to do here. Yeah, I got that's the cold miser, man. He's doing it. Let me see. I'm
I guess his job, right, is to.
not sure I can.
All right, I went in and whited out the horns without. So now this is going to remain a black and white forever.
I think I can wrap this up real quick. Let me dig in here. The witty banter dries up quick.
Well, yeah, when the clock starts, you're like, holy crap, I gotta get this done.
Time to get serious. I got FedEx at my door waiting for my pages.
Oh my gosh, the good old
days.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I hated that. I'd be like, can you come back in a minute? He's like, well, I got a couple more to pick up. I'll try back, and then he'll come back. I'm like, hang on, I'm putting it in a box real fast.
Well, that's the thing. It was like whenever you're like looking at the clock, going, okay, I got 30 minutes to go here. So you call FedEx because they never show up, right? Unless in those circumstances, then they show up like 5 minutes after you call them, and you're like, dude. Why aren't you late like all the other times?
I remember drawing pages at FedEx.
Yeah, right.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
I've done that too. Finishing up last little bits. Do that at Kinko's, trying to make copies of stuff. Still seeing things wrong. Oh, crap. Yeah, I had to actually, like, I remember doing, I think it was Marvel or DC, and I'm like, I kept missing FedEx, and I'm just, do you guys have an FTP? And they're like, well, we do. We just don't know how to use it. I'm like, let me walk you through it. And they just like, we don't even know who does it. Like who? They had to like ask around, who's in charge of this? Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a big digital fan in life in general, but I will say it's made producing comics a little bit easier.
Yeah, I've been going back. I don't know what there's a lot of reasons, but it's really funny because like the whole AI thing, I'm like, now it seems even better than ever to like exercise those chops, because like, you know, not because everybody's mad at AI and they think it's going to steal or whatever, but I think because they're not going to stop AI.
No.
So that means live art, hand done art is all the more interesting and rare and valuable. And
Well, I mean, I am just too old fashioned. You know, I am not going to do digital art. I'm just not. And it's not because I have anything against it. You know, I know Graham's doing it. You work in that way. A lot of guys do. And that's fine. But it's like, that means I got to take time to learn it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just do what I do. And
well, I mean, I only picked it up because of space issues. I was traveling a lot. I'd always be like staying at people's houses and stuff, and like didn't have money for, you know, art supplies all the damn time and FedEx and all that. And all I can think of is like, man, if I can draw on the computer, I wouldn't have to deal with this. So that's kind of what started that for me.
What you're saying basically is you're homeless, is what you're telling us.
Pretty much. I like it that way. I used to be a gypsy, but now I'm like wanting to grow some roots. I kind of like where I'm at. I like staying put. I know where all the good food is at.
Now, if you could just afford it, right?
Yeah, that's the next step. I make comics, man. You know.
I know. Get a real job so you can afford some really nice food. Who knows? We may all have to get real jobs here before it's all said and done.
How dare you? No way.
Well, I say,
Never.
I'm too old to change now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think David was saying, hell no.
Well, I keep thinking,
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell to the no.
I still feel like I may have a future as a Walmart greeter, though. So I'm not ruling that completely out.
I love that, man. I had a friend of mine that got a job at Walmart here in town, and I was like, yeah, cool. What are you doing? And he's like, I was like, are you doing stocking? I had to deal with like customers. And he goes, oh no, I'm maintenance. So most of the time I'm just sweeping. I'm like, oh man, the good life. That sounds so good.
Well, you know, there is something to be said for that, because I had a lot of crappy jobs before I got a job, you know, before I broke into comics. And like, I was like, I was in an Epson plant picking up cardboard and just taking it and throw it in the recycle, because you'd go through all the assembly lines and the people putting the stuff together, they just toss the boxes, right?
Yeah.
And the parts came in. And so I'd go pick up the boxes and put them in the compactor. And it's like, you didn't have to talk to anybody, you know? And so I was like, in my head, I was working on story ideas and stuff for when I broke into comics, and, you know, so my mind was never there at the job, which was
right.
totally fine.
Yeah. And there's like, you know, your job is what's expected of you is clearly defined, you know, where in like comics, they're like, you have to draw a page, you have to be an artiste, you have to draw the best thing you've ever done in a day. And you have to do that, and you have to do that every day. And it's like, well, I can't. How do you just turn it on and off? So then you start working on shorthand and figuring out your game plan for just how to approach everything to make it quick.
Yeah.
And then the comic industry collapses, and now you're expected to do your best thing ever. And it's like, oh man, I've just spent so long trying to figure out how to do it fast for the man.
Right.
Now I got to go back to doing, being an artiste and trying to figure out what is it that I want to say and not just make money.
That's the thing that always pissed me off about my approach, was that I was always, professionalism was always such a big deal to me, or that I thought it would be a big deal in the industry, which it isn't, but I thought it would be. So I was always more concerned about getting something done on time than I was doing my best work, right? That was like secondary to getting the thing done on time. And then what you realize is all these other guys are blowing their deadlines regularly, but doing really outstanding work, and they keep getting work.
Mm-hmm.
And I would meet my deadlines, and I was like, begging for work again. And it's like, it took me way too long to figure out that, as Adam Hughes famously told me once, he goes, they'll never remember if your book was out on time. All I remember is how good it looked.
See, I had the opposite effect. I'd spend all this time trying to make it great, and all they wanted it was done, so they're like, great. Is it done? Well, no, not yet. All right, well, hurry up. Okay.
Well, see, there was like 80s Marvel, and then when Image came around, all that sort of changed. But the old school, when I broke in the late 80s, I mean, I'm talking 89, 90, it was still, deadlines, right? Yeah. As long as it was good enough, except for the guys that were popular, Frank Miller, whatever, Simonson, although I don't think Simonson was ever a guy that missed a deadline. But
listen to that dismissiveness. Frank Miller, whatever.
He could do whatever he wanted, is what I meant, because he was,
What was he doing back then? Do you remember? Was he on Daredevil and stuff, or was he moved on to like the Batman stuff? Or
Dark Knight was 86.
Yeah.
So before Dark Knight, he had done the Wolverine miniseries. He was on Daredevil. Right. Then he went to the Wolverine miniseries. Did a couple of indie, like that Ronin thing. I can't remember who he did that for.
Probably
is that
Epic.
DC?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Originally, I'm not sure. I thought it was Epic. But
yeah, I think you're right. But that would have been Marvel then. And
okay. Well, then that's not right then. Yeah, I don't think that was Marvel. Anyway.
But the point being, there was a few guys that were, put themselves in position to do whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted.
Was it frustrating to see a guy like, who wasn't, he was an exceptional writer, but you could draw circles around him.
Yeah.
But was it frustrating to see that part of it where you're like, I'm way better than this? Or was it that he was dealing with iconography and things that were a lot faster to understand?
I did not understand what he was doing for the longest time. So I was like, this stuff sucks. Why does everybody love this guy? But I mean, his layouts, when he was working on Daredevil, his layouts and his storytelling were what was making the book, and his writing, right? Because if you looked at his like figure drawing and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't any different than a lot of other people were doing. Mm-hmm. But it was his storytelling and his layouts. And I was always, for the longest time, I was caught up looking at finishes, right? The finished product of the line work, and not necessarily the other stuff that went into it. Mm. And it took me a while to get past that and realize that this guy's a superstar, not because he's a better technician than I am in terms of being an artist, but because of all the other things he does better than me that really matter to people. So
yeah, I've thought about that too. I mean, just the way he cuts to the quick of, like it's a lot like what Malin does. We'll get into those art contests, and I'm thinking I'm going to draw the greatest thing out of any of these fools. I'm coming with heat. I'm going to do it. But then he'll draw something that makes everyone laugh and totally wins, because he did something that spoke to people, and it doesn't have to be the greatest thing ever. It resonated, Right. And I think that's where like Miller kind of capitalizes on, because he knows that that thing that will make you angry or make you, whatever. Like he's playing the icons, he's playing the emotion of it, I guess. I don't know.
Right. And there's my dog. He's playing with mine because I'm going to kill him if he doesn't shut up. No, so that's really the thing. And you got to give these guys credit who figured this out, right?
Oh yeah.
While so many of us were spending all of our time focusing on how well can I draw,
Yeah.
they were focusing on the entire craft.
Yeah.
And most of the guys that are super famous, with the exception of maybe Neil Adams or Boland or somebody like that.
Right.
Most of the guys that are super, super famous, Kirby, even Steranko to a certain degree, these were guys that were masters of their craft and not necessarily super talented illustrators.
Mm-hmm.
And they got it. And same with Simonson, man. He's very stylized, tremendous storyteller.
I love it.
I love his stuff. Yeah. But again, when I first saw his stuff when I was young, it took me a while to kind of figure out what he was doing. I didn't really get it, because I was used to, Neil Adams and
right.
Or even John Buscema, the guys that were doing what I expected them to do.
Well, you can ask David. I didn't like Jack Kirby until he talked me into it.
I didn't either.
He just kept going. David just kept going, no, you're wrong. And, he just kind of put that thing in my ear where I'm like, okay. And I kept looking. And then I found probably the oddest thing is the green arrow that Roz inked, apparently. I think you told me that Roz inked that one. A bunch of people probably, not just Roz. But for some reason, it was my in, I was able to see things, and now I can't get enough of it. I just can't, honestly can't get enough of it. I'm trying to see what he's doing. I'm digging up new stuff. I'm going back to those Kirby collectors and reading about him, and I'm fascinated by him. Amazing, man.
Yeah, me too. I was the same way. I was when I was a kid, I couldn't stand Kirby. I didn't get him at all.
Yeah.
Him and Ditko, I was like, what is going on here? And, but then I figured it out.
Ditko, that's another one. Yeah.
But then I figured it out. But I figured it out as an adult.
Yeah.
And understood that.
Figured it out as adult?
As adult. Yeah. I was adult.
I figured out that I was adult. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, but I finally figured out that, and everything doesn't have to be about how well something is drawn. You know what I mean? There's more to it than that. Oh, yeah. And not that Kirby drew well, because he drew within the context of his style. He drew very well.
Yeah.
But that's not what it was about with him, And when you look at his stuff, you just see the energy. Get out of here. All right, Kelsey, you're holding up the show, dude.
Oh, is it me?
All right, let's take a look at what David's got going here. Hurry up and finish, man. As I go to David. All right, hang on.
You go ahead. Go to David first. Oh, look at
Super Santa. Look at that. Does he have a Superman S in there?
Yeah.
That's his secret identity is Superman. He's playing his hero mode is Santa. Yeah, very nice.
Very nice. Comes in late, still pulls off a finished drawing. Look at that full moon back there. Nice little design element.
He can sling them Sharpies.
Yep.
Very nice. Eric Boyd says, I'm a big fan I've always liked Kirby, but still on the fence regarding Ditko. So
I was the same way. I was the same way about Romita Sr. David's actually introduced me to all these guys because I was like, nah. And then he was like, I like them and they're great. You should look at them again. And I take another look and a harder look. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm super stoked on Romita. Yeah,
I always liked Romita's stuff. Look at Feast on the delicacy that is Lopresti Krampus right there. There it is.
That's
beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Had a little bit more time. Got a little bit of that Wrightson fold going in there on his.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Yeah, you got the inks down.
Aaron Wood.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did.
There's the horns, baby. So
He gave us the horns.
I did.
Right.
I worked him in there. Even though the chat tried to sabotage me, it did not work. I was able to power through it. And all right.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
All right.
man.
Thank you. Thank you. Kelsey, are you ready to display?
Yeah, I'm ready, I guess.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Show us your stuff. Look at that.
Actually, I like that.
I like that a lot.
It's real washed out on here. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I think maybe if I turn down the.
Are you frozen again?
He's frozen. Mr. Freeze got him again. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There
there
we
you go.
go.
I can see the rosy cheeks now.
Yeah. So it's
I
all
like
right. It's all right.
Hey, no, it's nice. It's creative. It's got a lot of detail in there. It's a nice interpretation. Look at those funky zombie hands. Love it.
Kind of losing some, I need some more separation in here, but it'll, if I kept messing with it, I could get there. But
Well, I mean, just think of it this way: if you were on time today, you'd had the time you needed. So,
like a nice way to that's
yeah.
like a backhanded compliment. You
Yeah,
would have
it
done
is.
great
I-
had you shown up on time.
is that what they call passive aggressive? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like we're trying to do a show here. Where are you guys? Let's see. Eric Boyd says, "You guys are sick. As an awesomely sick. Good, nice work. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that."
Great, awesome, thank you.
Okay. I'm willing to do a Christmas gift for someone in the chat. The first
Yeah.
person to type in supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in the chat could get this drawing of mine.
Ooh.
There you go. Does it have to be spelled correctly?
Yes.
Well, I hope
Do you know how to spell it correctly? That's the question.
Right, that's the thing. I hope you know how to spell it, dude, because I don't.
All right, I'm just gonna set this one on fire, so I hope you don't.
No.
mind.
What are you doing? Now, if you'd like to get this sketch from Kelsey, it comes from a smoke-filled home, so it has extra, like a little menthol comes with it, right? Is that
It's that winter fresh smell.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay, now David, you got a bunch of supercalifragilistics in here. Now I don't even know how
I
to
said the
spell it.
first person.
Yeah,
The first
it spelled
person.
it correctly.
Looks like Past Master Dan, supercalifragilistic looks good enough to me. So
All right.
Past Master Dan is your man. So how can he contact you, David?
Tell him
Use
to,
the phone. Use your phone
write
number
me-
that I outed on the.
Tell him to send a message on either Twitter or Instagram. with
There you
his-
go, Past Master Dan. You heard it. Contact David, and if you can't get a hold of David, contact me, and I'll get a hold
Yeah,
of David
either
for
one.
you.
Yeah, congratulations. Good piece.
Congrats.
Yeah. For Peasy wants a recount. He demands a recount. Now,
Really? Who's he
now we
thinking?
got people saying, "Oh, you spelled it wrong." It's like,
Oh,
seriously, who even knows? Dan spelt it super wrong. Tom Teacher says.
All right, I'll tell you what. Whoever wins in a fight between you guys, I'll give you my piece.
There you go. So let us know. Mine, of course, is for sale.
He knows what's up.
That's right. First person offers me money gets mine. Oh my goodness. Angela Curry says Google knows. Well, if you think I'm going to go through every single one of those and try and see which one's spelled right, you're crazy. Past Master Dan wins because I say so.
There you go. Put your foot down.
That's right. Gosh darn it. All right. You guys, we have had a tremendous show. We have 155 people watching right now, which is
Awesome.
tremendous for me anyway. I don't know what you guys are used to, but
Couple thousand.
shut up.
On a bad day. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
well, again, maybe you show up on time. It helps the viewership a little bit, right? Jeez. Nathan Pohl, $1 confirmed for Krampus. Okay, well, I'm gonna that won't even cover the shipping. I'm gonna do a little better than that.
That's backfiring on you. Oh no.
It covers a cannonball to the gut.
Oh my! Well, speaking of which, Eric Boyd says Aaron needs dollars for razors to shave his forearms. Here you go.
Oh,
Eric Boyd takes it in the gut. Oh my gosh!
yeah,
Oh,
this is
wait a
fun.
minute. Sheeple Hunter says it shows poor character to get it wrong and still take the win.
Yeah. Oh, put it on past Master Dan. Yeah, how can you do that?
That's right. Okay, let's show again. David, what did you just do? You added something. Put it up there.
A little border, little moon, full moon.
Look at that. So I will say this for David because he didn't say it, but you're going to have to pay for shipping. But otherwise, it'll be free. Is that correct, David?
Yes.
There you go. All right.
So what's do we have maybe a preview, or maybe we can, what's next week, do you think? You got any ideas?
We're still going to be in the holiday season, so it depends on.
Oh, that's true. It might be the week after that. Will there be a show?
Oh, there'll be a show next week.
Okay.
But whether theme-wise, I don't know. We could still do Christmas or New Year's or something that would fit into that. Or you can just do whatever the heck you want. I mean, I'm not here, being authoritarian or anything, except that I would like you guys to show up on time. That's the only request that I have.
We start the show at 9:99.
Oh my gosh. All right. So everybody, David, Kelsey, thank you guys for showing up. Kelsey is now committed to being a regular on here, so we're going to expect it. What I'm going to do, you guys, it's going to either be Wednesday or Thursday every week. I was thinking Wednesday this week, but then something came up and I couldn't do it. So the holidays are I can't set a specific date because I got too many moving parts until my kids back in college and all that kind of stuff. But I will let you know in advance. I'm talking to Kelsey and David now, so you can guys say, no, I can't make it, or I can make it. But it's going to be either Wednesday or Thursday, unless it's Friday.
Yeah, Wednesday's cool. Like I got I think I do I Love Comics with Patrick. I think that's on Wednesdays, but I don't know if it's a set date. And then Thursday is Jack Show, but that's not until late at night. So I'm good either way, I think. So
okay. Someone said I missed a super chat, so I better go find that.
I've been here more than the Jack Show, so that's a good
That's
sign.
right. I mean, great episodes, man. Well, there we go. I'm sorry. Prater 7 for $5. Been fun listening to the stream. Everyone stay safe from winter storm and try not to die. That's a nice positive note. Thank you for the 5, though, Prater. Appreciate it very much. Merry Christmas to you and everyone else. I don't think I missed anything else. What's this? Merry Christmas.
Prater.
Geek Avenger. Merry Christmas, Aaron and friends. That would be you guys. So apparently he's under the impression that we're friends. So that's good. We're giving off the right vibe.
Prater said he sent one earlier.
I just read Prater.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, did you read his one that he said he sent one earlier?
Why don't you pay attention to what's going on, Kelsey? You come late. You don't have a clue what's going on. Oh, wait a minute. No,
it's pretty.
No, typical. I got Jimmy Owens. I got him already. I read his. I know there's a way you can go on the screen and kind of go back and see the super chats, but I haven't quite figured that out. So I'm just scrolling through the chat right now, looking for anything with a $sign attached. I think I got everything.
That's what I do in my couch cushions.
Yeah, well, that's you need a little gas money. Oh, wait a minute, I got to go to the store. What's underneath this couch cushion here? So I think I got everybody. If I didn't, it wasn't for lack of trying. So I appreciate all you guys showing up in the chat and helping make this new show already a stirring success. So,
Yay.
Oh, see, Prater 7 for $2. I sent a super chat earlier. So now I'm paying twice for me to read it once. It's all part of my master plan.
Yeah.
And we've got Marby Dog for $10. Wow. Thank you, Marby. Hey, Aaron, love your work. Planet Hulk is the best run of the 21st century. It is a crime that it didn't make you a millionaire. Oh, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was a heck of a project. to be involved in. And which makes it even more painful when they don't give me screen credit when they adapt it into movies and animation. But, you know.
How about the money?
Well, I complained enough. I did get some money for the Thor movie, even though I got no screen credit.
That'll work, though.
Well, dude, I've told this story before. I'll do this real quickly. That when they did the animated version, right? They had a guy come to my house and interviewed me for the special features DVD that went with it, and I got no credit in the film.
But
I'm on the DVD.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Everyone's like, "Who's this guy?" Why?
Yeah, why is he talking? What do you have to do with it? And so I complained to Marvel about that, and they're like, "Oh, we're super sorry, blah blah. It won't happen again." And then when the movie came out, it happened again.
Yeah.
So, and in fairness, Carlo Paglian did most of the design work because he did the first story arc, and then I came in after him, then he was after me, and then I was after him, like that. And so he did most of the design work, and most of the stuff I did was based off what he had already drawn. But geez, I drew almost half the series, so it's like, come on, give me a little love. But anyway,
or just a little.
Just a little. That's all I want. I don't want a lot. I just want a little.
I appreciate you, Aaron.
Thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate that you appreciate me. So there's a lot of appreciation in here. Anyway, okay, let's wrap this thing up, even though Kelsey continues to go on.
It's hard to stop.
Kelsey will be drawing in the green room for 30 minutes to make up for his tardiness. And
it's hard to stop.
No, thank you for joining us, and everybody have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year. Although we probably will see you guys before New Year's next week, but we won't see you before Christmas. So make sure you have a good one. Stay safe, stay out of the cold, and thanks for joining us. And thank you for your support, because we couldn't do it without you. Remember, the links to all the campaigns and our projects are in the description of this video, so please check those out if you have a minute, and join us next time on whatever the show will be called next week. Good night, everybody.
Peace.